right now.
I know him.
Shit.
10 minutes and Sean, your timer.
All right. My name is Antwan. I'm an alcoholic. Shit. Man, shit. Well, look, if you told me a year and 3 months ago I would be in a AA alumni meeting in San Pedro, I would say you lost your fucking mind. Um, I didn't even know where San Pedro was on the map. I'll start at the beginning, and I'll kind of tell you where I hit the speed knots in my addiction, how I ended up here. Thank you. Uh, so my name is Antwan. I was born December 5th, 1983. I'm from San Diego, California, born and raised. I grew up in Eastside San Diego. And, you know, for me, I come from a family of addicts, long line of addicts. My great grandmother, crack addict, named Laura Jean. She was the type of crackhead that no matter what, she knew where you lived. She would show up at your house, and you better have used the bathroom before she showed up because she would be in your bathroom beaming up all day, in the bathtub, swimming in bleach, saying that she's getting rid of the demons all day, all night, and then she would just bounce at like 4 in the morning. My grandmother, drug addict, crack cocaine. She abandoned my mother and my uncle. She got addicted to drugs. She left my mother when she was 9, and I think my uncle Del Rey when he was maybe 12, and my uncle Noble when he was maybe 7 in a canyon, in a tree house, a clubhouse, and she said that she was gonna come back for them, and she never came back. Left them. They were forced on family. My family addicts didn't want them as a problem, so they had a really rough childhood. My mom had me when she was 13, so we grew up together. You know, she was a kid with the kid, and that came with a lot of growing pains for her and for myself. So I went to stay with my granny for a bit up in Modesto, so my mom get her life together. Mom got her life together, got me back, and I had a little sister by the time I got back. My mom was married. So I'm coming back to this family dynamic that I don't understand. It was just me and mom, and I'm like, who's this man? And who I have a sister, you know. So it was just strange for me. It was hard for me to adjust. I didn't get it. But we bonded as a family. We moved out of East Dago, which was like the hood at that time. It's all gentrified now. We moved to North Park, was still the hood, not as bad. And I went to school there. I have lifelong friends from elementary who still homies to this day. But coming from my family background, drugs and alcohol was completely normal. Cracked out aunties, cousins, weed, alcohol, normal. I didn't understand that was dysfunctional until I was already grown. Because it was never a time. I would see my auntie smoking crack in the car in the front. My cousins always drunk, always high. My uncles, everybody on drugs, cigarettes, everything. So that was normal to me. I didn't understand that was not normal until I went to other people's family houses that they had normal ass families. My mom kept me away from shit like that. She was really adamant about me not having that type of life. And I was a good kid, you know, up until I probably hit junior high, 14 years old. I went to hang out with the older kids. The older kids was sneaking off, kissing, doing a little, what's it called, 15 seconds in heaven or whatever the shit was called. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So it was doing that. I wanted to kiss on girls. They were smoking weed and they was all laughing in class, and I wanted to know the joke, shit, you know? So I was smoking weed with them. And that was around the time, they're all older kids, so they were already advanced. So they took me under their wing, and pretty much that's when I started hanging with the older kids, getting familiar with the hood politics, and it was kind of on from then. I lost my virginity that year. I started smoking weed, and then a little bit after that is when I first had alcohol, which ultimately became my drug of choice. I still remember having that, like, I don't know what it's called, that aha moment, when that liquor hit me and I just felt like, ooh, I felt good. I felt like I could talk to the girls and I was cool with the homies and I was ready to go sock somebody out, whatever, I felt good. And After that, just it was kind of the ripple effect. You know, I started kicking it more. I became distant from my family. My mom started looking at me different because she's wondering what happened to her nice little boy. I'm coming home, I'm looking a little bit more rough. I don't want to be kicking it, doing family events. I started coming home high and drunk. I started fucking up in school. Eventually, I brought that drama to my mother's house where my brother and sister still living, their kids. And at the time, I didn't understand how dangerous that was because I was a boy playing in a grown man's world. Thank you. So after that, you know, I did my drug experimental phase. I went through that. I did crystal meth for the first time at 17. I got arrested for a felony robbery that same night. They wanted to try me as a adult. I was 17, thank God. I got house arrest, probation, boom, boom. I got accepted to college that year as a senior. I moved out here to LA and that was my ticket out. I was like, I'm good. I'm not looking back. Boom, boom, boom. I went to college. Obviously nothing but drugs and alcohol. So I just got more and more engulfed in drinking and doing drugs every day. But I managed to graduate school. My life didn't really hit the speed knot of addiction in my eyes. I was drinking every day, but I had a job. I graduated. I had a car. I had a girl. I had the boxes checked in my mind. I got a DUI, my second DUI. I got first one 21, second one at 28, and I wasn't slowing down. I still was arrogant, and I felt like because I had the money and I had my possessions still that I was unfadable. You know, they didn't faze me. So when I got the DUI, I had to go to AA classes. I was 28 at the time. And I go into the AA classes with the report card, and I go in, and I'm tripping because I'm like, man, all these people look old as sin. They smell like cigarettes. Why they made me read? What are they reading? It looked like a cult or some sort of religious group. I was tripping. I was like, I get out of here. This ain't it. I'm not like these people. That was my thinking, right? I'm not like them. You know, I'm good. I'm young. These people look old and burnt. So, so I started signing my own little report card. I stopped going to the meetings. I got over the DUI, whatever the case may be. But what really got to me is all my drinking and smoking caught up to me health wise. So the first thing is that my lungs started being messed up real bad. I went to the doctor. He told me to stop smoking. This is when I was 32. So I quit smoking cold turkey. I've been smoking 8 years. So I was like, okay, I quit the smoking, but I couldn't quit the drinking. The next time my addiction hit a speed knot was when I was like 34. I was coming home from work, I dug in my nose, and my nose starts bleeding, and it just doesn't stop bleeding for like 2 days. Mind you, I'm drinking this whole time because my alcoholism's at that level. I finally take myself to the hospital. The doctors are looking at me like they're looking at a dead body because my blood pressure was so high, my heart was enlarged, and I was on the verge of a stroke or a fucking heart attack. The doctor was like, how did you even get here? I was like, oh, I brought myself. They're like, you could have died behind the wheel. I got a heart surgery operation, and I still didn't get it, you know? They gave me the medication. I was like, cool, so I'm taking medication and I'm working out, I could drink. But my drinking, I didn't understand that it was just elevating, you know? And eventually, the worst speed knot that I hit that brought me here was 2020. I got hit by a car. It broke my clavicle. I caught COVID, and I was disabled and bedridden. So I'm drinking daily, drinking through the whole pandemic. I get to the end of 2020, and my little brother passes away from a health issue, and I'm fucking devastated, beyond devastated. So I'm drinking, I never recovered. I was on the brink of I was at the end of my rope. It was over for me, you know. I had no hope. I lost my apartment. I lost my job. I had no money. I had nowhere to turn. My girl let me stay with her out here in San Pedro. She told me to stop drinking. You could stay with me. I could not stop drinking. It got worse. And I don't know, by the grace of God, I looked up detox. I went to Red Gate in Long Beach to detox. I'd never been to program. I did Safe Refuge for 3 months. So this is actually my 7th month of treatment in like 8 months. I did primary there, and I gained a lot of knowledge, but I didn't have knowledge of self. I didn't have the tools, so I relapsed quick. because the old me came back like this. It was like he never even left. So I'm drinking again in program like I lost my mind. I'm in rehab drinking, and I'm still lost. I catch myself in 3 weeks of that, and I'm calling Safe Refuge. Can you guys let me back? We don't got a bed. I'm calling Fred Brown. I'm calling every day. And I talked to Amanda. I think her name's Amanda. I talked to Amanda. I meet with Amanda, and she must have seen the desperation. What do they say? It takes that desperation. She must have seen it on my face because I was lost. And really coming to Fred Brown has really been a blessing. Thank you. Now's the time. It's been a blessing. It's been beautiful. I love the fellowship here. The brotherhood is real, and I'm happy and I'm blessed that I really get to know myself. That the addiction is just a little part, and the real issue was in me. All these years, decades. I started drinking. I was 15. I'm 40 now. That's decades of just destroying myself. And thank you to Nancy. She made me feel welcome. She got me to stay because I was ready to bone out the first day. There was a fight or something, and I was out. But I gave myself grace, and I said, stay a week. I stayed a week turned into 2, and now I'm here at 90 days, and I'm saying, thank y'all.